All right, here he is, the Italian gangster Danny Sabatello, back on the show now after another impressive victory, this time at Bellator 282, beating Leandro Higo via unanimous decision. Danny, how are you?
Doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, and I appreciate the time. I know you probably have a lot of people reaching out to you right now wanting to talk to you after another big win. I just want to start with the celebration afterwards. I know you said you were going to go out and have a little fun. Just run me through what you've done thus far.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been sober since the fight. Obviously, I was having fun out there in Connecticut. I had a bunch of people fly in. All my boys were there. But you know what? That casino is a little bit whack. They stopped serving alcohol at 2 a.m. So at around 2 a.m., we were trying to get shots for everybody, and the guy said that they stopped. I thought they were joking, so I started laughing. When I found out that they were serious, I was kind of pissed off. But, you know, we just went to one of my boys' hotel rooms. You know, a bunch of them got hotel rooms there. I just kept the party going, kept drinking in there. And then I flew back Saturday morning, went right back out to the bars and clubs. Yeah, just fun fucking times. I got back at like 8 a.m. this morning from the casino, which it was a successful casino trip. So that's always fucking nice. But yeah, just fucking having fun. Yeah, just very fucking, very fun. A couple more interviews after this, and then right back to it. My boys are already at the beach. I'm going to meet them out at the beach, and then we're going to have another fun ass night.
Nice. Well, you definitely deserve it. I wanted to ask you this too, because you've seen this with other mixed martial artists in the past. You know, you go out, you're having fun, you start to get recognized like you are now in your career. Has anyone tried to like mess with you or test themselves out at a club or anything?
Oh, in person? No, fuck no. Nobody says shit to me face to face. But obviously, all these keyboard warriors are just spreading hate. You know, I've got like thousands and thousands of DMs of people just saying I suck, they hate me. But you know what? It's always the same people that are talking shit online, that are booing in the crowd, that are asking for autographs and pictures after. But that's just what comes with the territory. You know, that's fighting, that's showbiz. I understand it. These people are going to fucking hate me. But of course, if it's face to face, they're going to ask for pictures. And I don't really give a shit. Doesn't matter one way or another. I think people are starting to recognize how good I am at fighting, and that's all I really give a shit. You know, I don't really care if you love me or hate me. It's all the same to me. Obviously, it's very fun time for Danny Sabatello fans because we just keep winning and keep getting bigger and bigger. And this next fight against Stots is going to be an absolute mega fight. So it's just really exciting. But again, you can fucking love me, you can hate me, but obviously no one is talking shit to me face to face.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't do that myself. I know there are some people out there that would, you know, you just never really know. There are a lot of idiots out there. When you just look at where you're at right now in your career, do you feel like there's anyone that's any more polarizing than you in all of MMA right now?
Right now, no, I don't. I'm a fan of the sport, so I obviously keep up with it. You know, I watch all my American top team teammates, so I'm always like in the sport involved in seeing who's on the rise and all that, who's making a pop, who's exciting, who's all over the internet. And I just don't see somebody right now that is as exciting as me. And that's just because I'm exciting inside and outside the cage. Obviously, I have a bit of a colorful personality, and people can see that. They realize that it's real. It's not fake. It's not some shtick like some cornballs in this game. Yeah, they realize it's just the truth. You know, that's just who I am. And then obviously I'm a very good fighter. You know, none of this works if I talk shit and go out there and lose. And obviously I'm winning. I'm beating high level opponents. Not just that, I'm fucking dominating them. So I'm obviously a good fighter to watch just because, man, you got to appreciate my skills and going in there and dominating these motherfuckers. And then obviously I'm a fun listen. Just because, again, I have a colorful personality. But yeah, right now I feel like I am becoming the biggest guy in MMA, and I'm only going to get even bigger.
Well, let's talk about this last win, really over a tough guy, Leandro Higo. And you went through a little bit of adversity there in round two. So when you look at this performance collectively, how would you assess yourself? How pleased are you?
Yeah, I fucking love it. You know, a lot of times you want to go into a fight and you don't want to face any adversity. You just want to be unscathed. But I'm actually very happy that that second round was just hell. He had my back for 3 minutes. And when a guy like Leandro Higo has your back for 3 minutes, that is not good. You know, he puts guys away. He's so good at jiu-jitsu. He's an absolute animal on the ground. But I'm so happy that I weathered that storm. I stayed patient. I got right off after the bell, and I went right back to work. And I actually think that broke him a little bit because he realized that was his chance to win the fight. You know, if it's going to go the distance, nobody's going to beat me. I got the best cardio. No one's going to actually beat me in a 5-round fight. You got to finish me. And that was his chance to finish me. He didn't have it. It was 1-1 after that second round. And then I just went out there and I dominated. So I am very happy because I did dominate the fight, but I also did feel a little bit of adversity. I did have to go through some troubles with a guy like Higo. So I'm looking back and I'm like, man, no matter what happens in any of my fights coming up, if something bad happens, stay patient, stay the course, just wait till next round. You know, there was a point in that second round where he had my back for maybe 90 seconds, a minute and a half. And I thought to myself, you know what? He's going to win this fucking round. Let's cut our losses. After this, it'll be 1-1. Don't do anything stupid. You know, a lot of guys panic when somebody's on your back and they just do some stupid shit because they got to try to win the round. You know what? No, be patient. It's 5 fucking rounds. He gets 1 round. Whoop-de-doo. I'm going to come back and take his fucking head off. And that's what I did. So I'm very happy with it.
Did he have you in any serious danger at all in round 2?
No, not at all. He was trying to elbow me and trying to like punch me a little bit in the face when he had that body triangle. That was kind of more so to set up a choke. He wanted me to lift my arms up a little more to block the punches and elbows, and then he would cinch in that choke. But of course, those elbows and punches didn't really hurt, and he didn't really have any choke under the neck. So I didn't really feel in too much danger, but obviously you got to be cautious and smart against a guy like that when he has your back.
It looked like to me too that there was a size difference between the two of you. Did you notice that? Or are you just kind of a little bigger and stronger than him?
Dude, I was saying this in the build up to this fight. People were telling me Higo is massive. He misses weight. He's the biggest bantamweight. I don't think people understand how big I am. I'm 5'10", so it's very tall for bantamweight, but I'm also a big dude. I got a lot of muscle and I'm obviously tall. I think I was a lot bigger than him. And if you look at the pictures, you kind of can see that. I went in there, I probably weighed more than him. You know, people don't understand that I am cutting a lot of weight, but I don't talk about it because I'm not a little bitch, because I'm never going to miss weight. I don't make excuses. I say I'm going to be 135, so I am 135. You know, to me, it makes no sense to talk about me cutting weight just because I'm going to fucking do it. You know, I'm going to make the weight. So, of course, I do like being a big bantamweight. I cut the weight because I can do it right. You know, a lot of these people, you know, maybe cutting weight isn't for them. You know, the hot topic right now is going up in weight. Don't cut the weight. Well, you know what? If you're a fucking tough motherfucker, if you're mentally strong and you can cut the weight, then do it. And that's what I am. I cut a lot of weight. I'm good at it. And I love being bigger than my opponents. And I'm going to be the biggest guy that any of these guys fight. I'll always be the big guy in these fights.
And 11 takedowns. I mean, good God, your wrestling is just on point. Is there anyone in Bellator, pound for pound, is there anybody that has better wrestling than you?
No, nobody has better wrestling in the game of MMA. It's not just wrestling though. When people look at me and they say I'm a wrestler, it's just not true. There's a huge difference between wrestling and MMA wrestling. My MMA wrestling is second to none. These guys can't stop the takedowns. And the good thing is even if they do stop the takedown, it's money in the bank. You know, we have a game plan in all my fights, and I don't want to always give this shit away. But even if I don't get the takedown and they stuff it, I got their heart rate up. I got their fucking adrenaline jacked up. I got them fucking squeezing. They're getting a little bit more tired. Again, it's money in the bank for the later rounds. So if you ever see me not get a takedown, I'm not discouraged. Sometimes that is the game plan, to just create a scramble and get this guy a little bit tired, get him moving a lot, get him squeezing, get that lactic acid in there. And then the takedowns will come easier once he's more tired. So either way, it's a win-win for my fighting style. If I get the takedown, obviously it's great. If I don't get the takedown, keep fucking going, be relentless like a dog on a fucking bone, and then I'll eventually get it.
Yeah, and you've proven that time and time again. Did you get fined at all for the post-fight swearing?
Fuck yeah, dude. I got fined $5,000. Such bullshit. You know, 2 guys go into this cage and try to absolutely murder each other. You know, the fact of the matter is one of us possibly couldn't have went outside of that cage. One of us could have got paralyzed in there. Our shirts are off. There's blood everywhere, but they want to find me for saying a 4-letter word. Fuck that. But you know what? I don't give a shit. If they told me again that they're going to find me again and even more next time, I'm still going to be Danny Sabatello. I'm not going to change my ways just because some ticky-tack bullshit fines. But yeah, I'm always going to be me. I knew that they were going to find me. You know, all week they were saying that they were going to find me if I do some stupid shit. I had security following me all around the hotel, at the weigh-ins, everything. Everyone was trying to make sure I don't do anything stupid. But you know what? That's just Danny Sabatello. That's just why Danny Sabatello fights are different. Fight week's always different. They told me, hey, if you win this fight, try not to swear on the mic or else we're going to have to find you. Fuck that. I'm going to be me. And the fans deserve that. The fans need to know who their fucking fighters are. They deserve to understand who the fuck I am, and that's who I am. So I'm not going to alter my ways in any way just because of some fine.
And as Bellator, I got to imagine they're compensating you more and more each time you go out there and win, right? So even if you do get fined, you're still making more money than you were before.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like it is 5K. So obviously I would rather have 5K than not 5K. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm not a huge money guy. I don't give a shit too much about the money. My interest is being the best bantamweight in the world. You know, everybody's always talking about the $1,000,000. I'm more interested in being the baddest motherfucker. So many people are millionaires. You know, average people are millionaires. You can get lucky and come up with some dumbass invention and be a millionaire. You can be a fat fucking slob and be a millionaire. I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to be the best 135 bantamweight in the world. And I will do that in these next 2 fights. I got 2 more fights to solidify myself as the best bantamweight in the world.
Now, I'm a huge basketball fan, and you see some guys when they're getting tossed from games or whatever, and they're walking, backstage, like through the crowd. People have tossed some stuff at them and whatnot. I was wondering, when you were flipping off the crowd, when you were leaving to go backstage to do your interviews, did anybody say anything or throw anything in your direction?
It's just so funny because it was piercing my ears with those boos so loud. Thousands and thousands of people booing me. Almost everybody booing me except for my boys and my fans that are out there, which was like 5% of the arena. But it's funny because right when I'm face to face with these people, once I have them in my sight, once I walked out on that casino floor, everybody rushed to get my autograph, to take pictures. Everyone was like, oh, fuck the haters. Everyone's booing, but we were cheering. So everyone's such full of shit. Obviously, once it's face to face, once they're close with me, they want pictures. But you know what? If they're in the crowd and I'm in a cage and I can't see them, they're going to be booing me. So no, I didn't have to go through any struggles with anybody. Nobody was talking shit. Nobody was booing me to my face. No one threw anything. It's the exact opposite once it's face to face.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Got to ask you about your teammates, Johnny Eblen and Sabah Homasi. Good Lord, both of them looked amazing. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, look, we all know Gegard Mousasi is a legend. I didn't think that Eblen was going to do what he did. He dominated the fight. He won all 5 rounds. Did you guys at the gym feel like, you know what? Johnny Eblen's going to go in there and dethrone Mousasi and get this win?
Yep, absolutely. 100%. But you know what? I don't blame the fans for counting Johnny out just because Mousasi is an absolute legend. He's done so much in this sport, but it's not a surprise to me. It's not a surprise to anybody at American Top Team. Johnny works his ass off. I've been close with him for a while now. You know, we both wrestled in college. He was at Missouri. I was at Purdue. So I know Johnny's capabilities. I know his skill set. I knew he could go in there and beat the shit out of fucking Mousasi, and that's exactly what he did. You know, ATT had a great weekend. Not only me winning the co-main event and Johnny winning the main event and that title, but obviously Sabah had that highlight knockout. Achilles Moto won. Alexander Shabili won. And then it's funny because Mike Brown was in my corner for that co-main event. I won. Then he cornered Johnny that next fight in the main event. He won. After that, he took a 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. flight, flew to Vegas, and cornered Gamrot in his main event slot in the UFC, and Gamrot won. So big weekend for the team, big weekend for Mike Brown, big weekend for American Top Team. It was a very, very exciting weekend.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, congrats to all you guys down there at ATT. I didn't get a chance to talk to you after your win over Lugo in Hawaii. Obviously, you looked fantastic in that performance too. How was Hawaii? How was that business trip? Did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, Hawaii was awesome. You know, that's a place that's just absolutely special, and if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. The scenery is awesome. But again, I don't like getting too carried away with myself. You know, I'll fight in the fucking dark alley. I'll fight in somebody's basement. That's just kind of how I have to treat it. So I can't give too much of a fuck if it's in Hawaii. Obviously, after the fight, I enjoyed it and it was sick. But you know what? It doesn't matter where I'm fighting. And it was obviously a successful business trip. I view it as a business trip. And it was awesome. Obviously, the cherry on top was that it was in Hawaii because of the after effects of the fight. But you know what? That fight week and everything leading up to it, I don't give a fuck where the fight is. And I can't think about all that shit. But yes, it was sick. The flight sucked. You know, I'm coming from South Florida. So it was like 6.5 hours to California, and then another like 6 hours to Hawaii. So that's brutal when you're cutting weight and you got some fucking fat slob eating a cheeseburger next to you and you just want to murder him. So that part's not fun, but everything else is pretty good.
Well, you're 2 wins away now from winning the $1 million. You got Stots up next. You beat him. You take his interim belt. I want to just ask you this. Obviously, you beat him. You're the champion. You win the next fight after that. You win the $1 million. Is there one that you would value more? Would you rather have the $1 million if you had to pick one or the other, or the belt around your waist?
Belt 10 times out of 10 times. And you know what? This next fight against Stots is not for the interim belt. It's for the actual belt. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Sergio Pettis is not the champion of this division. Stots is. And that's what I'm going to fucking take fucking Stots' belt next fight. It's going to be a very exciting fight. I think it's going to be a super fight, a mega fight, possibly the biggest fight in Bellator history, just because you look at how good I am, how good Stots is. I talk great trash. Stots talks trash, even though it's fucking awful and atrocious, but it's still going to be a massive fight. It's going to be an exciting fight, a high level fight. The stakes are so high. It's in the semifinals of this Grand Prix. Everything's going to be big about it. But again, Stots has this belt, not Sergio Pettis, and I'm going to take it for him. So I'm very much looking forward to beating the shit out of Stots and being the champion of this division. They haven't announced where or when it is, but it's going to be before the end of the year. And I'm hoping we hear about something soon. You know, I hope they announce where and when fairly soon, maybe this week or next week.
We'll dive right into that matchup. Ultimately, how do you see this fight shaking out? Do you believe this is just another fight where you grind out a decision victory and dominate him with your wrestling, or do you finish him?
I finished this guy. You know, this fight is a very different fight than Higo. With Higo, you kind of have to be a little bit timid, a little bit safe, just because he's waiting for you to make one little mistake, and then he's going to end the fight. He'll choke you. He'll get you in an arm bar, a leg lock, something like that. So you got to be very cautious. You got to be very smart and calculated with him, because he's just waiting for you to slip up. I felt that throughout the whole 25 minutes. He was just waiting for one little mistake. And he can end fights, man. He's a finisher. He's very good. With Stots, it's a totally different matchup. He can't finish anybody. He's not very good anywhere. He's good on the feet. He's good on the ground, but he's not elite in either area. That's a fight I can go out there and just free for all. If I make a mistake, who gives a fuck? He's not going to capitalize it and finish me. So I can be very exciting. I can be flashy. I could just go out there and just beat the shit out of him. And I could take more risks. That's the bottom line with this fight. When you have somebody that's not too dangerous in any area, you can take a lot of risks. And I see myself taking a lot of risks. I see myself getting him tired just because my cardio is the best in MMA. And then I see myself fucking finishing him. I see myself putting my elbow through his fucking skull, and the ref will stop it. Maybe the end of the third round. By the end of the third round, I'd like a stoppage on Stots.
All right, man. I can't wait for this fight. Whenever Bellator does announce it, I'm definitely going to be putting that on my calendar. On the other side of the bracket, Patchy Mix, Megaman. Who do you see winning this one?
Yeah, I don't really give a shit. They're both not very good, but I do see Magomedov beating Mix. Mix isn't very good. He's not well-rounded at all. He's good once he gets your back and has that body triangle. And he is good there, I will say that. But if he doesn't get that, he kind of sucks. So I don't think he gets there against Magomed. If he does, then maybe he does win. But I just see Magomed being too much for him. Magomed, I actually might finish him. He likes to spin a lot, and Mix is kind of slow. So I actually think it's potentially going to be a flashy knockout for Magomed. But again, I don't really give a fuck. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I only want to zone in on Stots because I hate that piece of shit. And I'm looking forward to getting the best belt there is, and that's the Bellator belt. So obviously just have tunnel vision on Stots for that fight, and then we'll go from there.
Last question for me. I imagine that you think that you're going to be fighting Pettis at some point down the line. Ultimately, when that does happen, how does that fight play out?
I finish him in the first round. That will be the easiest fight of my career. I'm hoping I fight him. You know, the winner of this tournament will fight him. So obviously I should have the opportunity to fight him. But I'm telling you, man, I think he knows I'll fucking murder him. So he might fake an injury once we are paired to fight each other. Again, that's a dream come true matchup. There is not a better matchup in fighting than me and Pettis. And I think he's intelligent enough to understand that. So I actually do see this, you know, mark my words right here, right now. Once me and Pettis are squared to fight, he will back out. Something will happen. He'll get hurt. Something will happen where he backs out of the fight. But you know what? I am very much looking forward to beating the shit out of him as well.
Danny, it's always a pleasure to interview you, man. Easily one of the best interviews in MMA, regardless of promotion. Again, Danny, the Italian gangster Sabatello picks up the UD win over Leandro Higo at Bellator 282. Before I do let you go, man, tell people where they can follow you on social media. If you have anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
Yep, you can follow me at Shock This World on Instagram and on Twitter. And everybody, I can't reiterate this enough. This fight, Sabatello against Stots, is going to be an absolute massive fight. Tune in and watch me beat the shit out of this piece of shit.